This photograph shows a man named William Calcraft, who died aged 78 on the 13th of December 1879. When news of his death hit the newspapers, the Banbridge Chronicle described him as a man of mild countenance and clerical garb, and a famous and successful cultivator of flowers, but that was not what sprang to mind for most people when his name happened to be mentioned. For some 45 years, Calcraft had been the executioner for the City of London and Middlesex, was notorious for botched hangings and disturbing public spectacles, and is believed to have hanged perhaps some 450 people. After officially taking the job in March of 1829, his first official engagement was the 13th of April 1829 hanging of 61-year-old Esther Hibner, who had been dubbed the evil monster in newspapers after starving, torturing and murdering a 9-year-old girl. The execution took place here, in front of the Old Bailey, with thousands of men, women and children in attendance, and it was a particularly unpleasant scene. The previous night, Hibner had attempted to kill herself, and having somehow gotten hold of a knife, cut a deep and almost longitudinal wound, it was said, into her neck. On being wrestled to the ground by prison guards and forced into a straitjacket though, a doctor then managed to sew the wound back together, and so she was carried out onto the gallows that morning, still in the straitjacket, at a little before 8 o'clock, as a gigantic crowd jeered and shouted at her loudly. Calcraft was hailed with shouts of applause as he placed the bag over her head, placed the noose around her neck, and then pulled the bolt. But just as the platform fell, it was stated, the horrified crowd turned with disgust as the rope tore open her throat wound and sprayed her blood across the platform. It had been one of the most awful exhibitions ever beheld, London's New Times would report the following day. But Calcraft, regardless, had made a positive impression upon prison officials, and so, with that, began the career that would forever define him. I'll see you back here next week for another Morbid Monday.